concentrates a lot of resources on Jensen as well. Not only is he a high-performing mid laner, but they actually funnel a lot of gold into him, a lot of minions post 15-minute farm, and jungle pressure as well.
A little bit of focus on the Graves, but Cloud9 say, we see that Mordekaiser. We don't want to deal with that Mordekaiser.
It's pretty funny, actually. Yeah, I was talking to a couple of Cloud9 members in the lobby yesterday after their game, and I was like, oh, you see the FlyQuest game? They got Mordekaiser. And they're like, we're not scared of the Mordekaiser or any kind of quote-unquote cheese picks like that. Turns out they're just going to ban it out, and that's the easy fix there. So but no more this game.
But in the end, we know it's Reaper saying, I'm afraid of it, so you are not playing. No. Rumble Varus insta-locking here. We don't see Varus get through too much anymore without a big trade there. There is a Rengar on the other side, but nice pickup by FlyQuest.
Yeah, I do like this first-round pickup because, yes, Varus, very often we were thinking he would be first picked here, if not on the ban phase. But also, for balls, when Cloud9, or when FlyQuest have run DPS in the top side, they're split pushing yesterday with Camille, and their efforts in getting balls ahead to split push did not work out. Also, when they had Vladimir, one of those picks that we haven't seen from any other teams in the top lane, that also did not work for them. But balls with a classic rumble for himself, combined with another AD threat with very long range in the Varus, this is a very good first round duo to pick up. Meanwhile, Cloud9 trying to answer here with bottom lane, going with support, and a little bit of poke of their own. So some Jace poke to match up against the Varus poke. Definitely going to need a little bit more magic damage as the Karma currently slotted to fill in on the support and probably won't be bringing quite a lot of DPS. FlyQuest do feel the need to answer that jungle position in the first round here and don't want to get pushed any further, below, considering Graves is already pushed out there, and they're going to take up that Kha'Zix. So it does look like FlyQuest going with a more meta draft phase this time around, and if you're going to go more meta, it looks pretty good at the moment. We'll see if they get any more crowd control on their side to try and hold people in place.
It might be Sans tank, but it looks like both teams might be Sans tank at this point. Jhin getting banned out here for FlyQuest, so Sneaky's getting a little bit.
Yeah, they're targeting the AD carry role that has not been answered here in the first round, so it's easy to pinch a bit further. Now, it's interesting because the AD carry role used to be, a couple patches ago, just the Jhin and the Varus when lethality was king. But Ezreal has started to really emerge as another super strong pick in that area. He might be the second ban that FlyQuest go for to really pinch further in that Cloud9 territory. But then Sneaky still as well could go for the Ashe. So it's really a pick your poison between those two. Do you want to let them have that crowd control from the bottom lane, or would you rather have them go with a pure DPS AD carry? And I think banning out the crowd control is a pretty strong strategy, considering, like you said, they're running pretty DPS heavy here with the Rengar and Jace themselves.
Also, not a whole lot of crowd control on the side of C9. So if you get that Ashe arrow out, Moon can jump in on Kha'Zix, be safe to get around with the ultimate, and really wreak havoc here in this fight.
It looks like, we'll have to talk to the refs, but it looks like they've already moved on to the pick phase.
No, it is
Did not get their second ban out there for FlyQuest.
I'm getting that confirmation as we speak. I'll let you know. So Soraka getting locked in here for Lemon Nation. That is a true lock-in. And we'll see what the side of Cloud9 has.
All right, so Soraka is locked in to answer here, and they are going to have sustain, so the bottom lane just trying to clear the waves and heal up there with the Varus. Definitely curious what Hai will go for in the mid lane then to try and round it out into the Jace. He's been one that really values that counter in the mid lane, and more often than not, he's going with something to try and kill his enemy, his lane opponent, rather than just go backline, like he said in the video, and go toe-to-toe. Meanwhile, we do see that Ezreal we're talking about, for Sneaky coming in for Cloud9, and they just add a little bit more poke to the squad. See what kind of this pick will round it out with here. Top lane, split push. Definitely a possibility for impact. But again, Cloud9 have been another team that have really thrived when they have a super simple tank go button just be able to push.
Yeah.
Not going to be the case here. They're going to try and spread out the map. They do have a rain guard to try and prey on anyone rotating between lanes as well. And it is about, can they get Impact rolling to the Trinity Force, to the Tiamat here on the Camille so that he gets to add that split push threat, whereas FlyQuest have actually locked in the team fighting mage for high rather than the more risky assassins that he usually goes with. And FlyQuest are packing quite a bit of DPS here. Definitely one of the more standard drafts from them.
So the ban phase 2, not confirmed as intentional, but also confirmed as not contested by FlyQuest. They did not ask for anything to be contested there, so it did go by. And it does not seem like they chose to ban anything in the second one. We'll have to see how this plays out for them in game. The composition is a Soraka support. Interesting pickup there to kind of keep things locked out of the bottom lane to start things off. But we have seen a Soraka lane with Poke just push the other team into a turret as much as you can be pushed in. So we'll have to see how FlyQuest gets, or how they play coming out of this one. Like we saw Orianna going in for high to Jensen's Jace as we start this one off. Coach Reapered meeting up and heading off. Leaving the players to their own divides now. FlyQuest, hashtag FlyWin, hashtag C9 win as we get back into our rematch of Cloud9 versus FlyQuest.
All right, so here we go. Are we going to get a little bit more movement up at the top? I just interviewed Haunter, after TSM's game about FlyQuest, and he thought that they did rely on the surprise picks. So we'll see how they do. Just coming down the tier list this time around versus C9.
There's a thing about the surprise picks, though, is they put you in kind of the advantageous position to have to keep doing them. We see FlyQuest able to make those initiations as well. So it really plays into their favor with these, I wouldn't say wonky compositions, but compositions of their own that they can really bring into great effect. Yeah,
and I guess we can semi-consider Soraka a surprise pick, even though, we have seen her already a little bit. Does signal to me that they're going to want to be pretty defensive in the bottom lane on the first half of the game. And we'll see if Moon actually concentrates his efforts up here in the Impact versus Balls lane, which I would definitely think as a jungler is going to attract a lot of attention. I would expect both these junglers actually spend a lot of time in the top triangle, basically, what we like to call top lane, mid-river, little triangle here, and leave the healing and poke bottom lanes to their own devices down there. Super excited to see how Contracts does round 2 against his old team as well, by the way. If people remember at the beginning of the season, him being moved up from the C9 Challenger squad, which is now FlyQuest, joining the main squad here. Not quite sure what these calls are from the crowd.
I wonder. I have to see.
Sounds like some animal mating calls.
Of a moose.
Ooh! Ball's got one of the small ones, so Moon doesn't get level 2 right off the bat there. Flame Spitter. It's a little bit hard to control that wildfire, and he got one of them. Usually the jungler, if he gets all the small raptors, will be get an instant level 2 right off the bat there. Not going to be the case, though.
Bot lane, a little back and forth on autos for the AD carries, but looks like the push in here from C9 to make it nice and easy. They should be able to get level 2 first here as the next minion wave comes. Ow, Altec. He's Varus, he's fine.
Skill shots landing from both sides, but he's Varus, and he has Soraka. Pocket healer here for him to try and even up the health pools after that. Both junglers did the top side 2-camp clear and heading into their second buff now. Maybe, oh man.
Gotta squeeze tight.
I was gonna say maybe they converge here on the scuttle pretty early on, but Soraka's not to level 2 yet, so doesn't have the heal yet. And as much as you go, oh yeah, Soraka in the lane, pocket healer won't matter, that was very close as Altec got poked down to 100 HP around there.
That it was. We actually have a free moment here. 250 in. Azael was actually able to chat with ThinkCard. Hang on, looks like there actually may be a gank in the mid lane. Jensen exhausted straight up. Here comes Moon. He gets Jensen's exhaust straight away. And FlyQuest comes up with kill number 1. They got to be feeling good about that. I actually want to find out how ThinkCard felt about picks and bans, though. Azael, take it.
Yeah, I had a moment to chat with ThinkHard about the Mordekaiser pick. He was saying it was actually something they had practiced a lot, and they decided to bring it out against Envy because they said LCS games are LCS games, no point in saving it, they just want to play to win. He's also feeling very confident about the draft. C9 running full AD, he wants his teams to build early tabbies, and as long as the other team can't snowball early, he thinks they can win team fights and take it late. Back to you guys.
All right.
I actually think it's pretty funny because while you will say, oh yeah, we wanted to pull out the Mordekaiser in an LCS game, you know, just as early as possible because an LCS game is an LCS game. How much of that was, oh yeah, once they see this Mordekaiser, we think that we'll be drawing a pretty free ban from Cloud9 later in the week since they won't have time, you know, to practice it and decide if they actually need to ban it. But it looks like it worked out. You know, they won their Envy games and they got a Mordekaiser banned here from Cloud9.
Cannon waves on each side. Can be a bit of trading here as we get into the farming. Moon coming out of his base. Double longsword for the junglers here. As they continue to keep it quiet. That first kill to mid lane is the only thing we've seen so far.
And it was, you know, the important kill, right? We're talking about the top triangle of the map, which is this part of the jungle right now. You know, top lane, this part of the jungle, and mid lane. And FlyQuest did focus very heavily on that. Right now, though, prepping the dive on balls. He's gonna go ward and get stunned.
Oh, deja vu from last game, but balls goes down this time.
We see that so often, and especially against a Rengar, where these guys, you know, he's got the sense. He's like, wow, they're pushing me in. They probably have, you know, jungle pressure up here. Let me ward to see if he's in this bush. Yeah. But if you don't do that early enough, before the push happens and before you're in that scenario, getting in range to ward means you're in range for a Rengar jump. Yeah. And Camille also has an extremely long range jump. She gets right over. And so, yeah, you get the ward down and your game sense was correct. They did have their jungler here, but the result is you give over that kill.
There was a bit of, I feel like it could have been a communication because Moon came around and would have seen the blast cone down. Maybe alerted. Ball's obviously going to ward. You're going to get yourself killed walking through a brush, but maybe a missed word there between the two. 1-1 here. Sneaky getting pushed back to the turret as the star calls coming out from Elimination. Gets him a turret shot. Not too bad. They're keeping Sneaky really at bay here.
Yep. When both lanes have a decent amount of poke damage, but one lane has the heals coming from Soraka, you slowly grind out your little advantage here. Sneaky actually cancels his recall. He does have heal, by the way, so even if he sees, you know, the damage coming, if an arrow's about to hit him, he can pop the heal if really needed. I'm so curious.
Let it go, Kobe. It's
Where
okay.
did that come from?
Block it out. Block it out.
It sounds like an Earth chant or something. They're just super happy that Earth was back for a while.
There you go. Figured it out.
It's actually
Professor Kobe.
I'm actually going crazy right now. What? All right, regardless, let's check back in on junglers. We love junglers. All right, all the camps are down as Moon's ending on the bottom side, and the bottom side is recalling. And we talked about the bottom side being.
You have found the Kobe trigger. Focus resolved. There's the shield. Lemonation still has full HP, so I don't know why I'm getting excited. And they're going to slow that one down. 10.2 on the clock here. Or on the gold. 6.53 on the clock if you can point the colon in between time. And we'll hear Tiamat start off for Moon, so he's going to try to power farm this jungle as he comes flying out of his base once again. Transfer over to Jensen. Early his contract said, I don't need this. We'll see if he can start controlling that mid lane.
Yeah, and your little point I want to go back to about you know, the Tiamat that you brought up for Kha'Zix, because it used to be super standard, and you'd always get your Tiamat, so you know, help you with the AoE clears. But then we saw this mass transition of Kha'Zix when he was really in his prime, you know, before the last rounds of nerfs, where right into Black Cleaver and, you know, going semi-tanky where you're a bit bruisery with Hexdrinker and stuff. Okay, builds are going to have to wait because they're going after balls again, and both junglers are going to come too.
Oh, Contracts is in. They're going to be out real quick on this one. Kill going in for Impact. Moon cannot get in to help on this. Lost track of Contracts. Did not want to give up another one. So C9 bite back just a little bit. Contracts has to blow flash for that.
And again, the top jungle triangle here, top lane, mid, and this quadrant is continually focused as the bottom lanes are left to their own poking. Altek does have to end up burning his flash.
Yep.
And as the summoners start to get whittled down just through lane trading here, then is when you really start to worry about, is anyone else going to join that party and bring one of those classic 5-on-5s down to the bottom side.
I was just going to say, red is up and his Raptors are there, so with 6, Contracts may be finding a bot side lane gank here to take down Altec with no flash now.
Yeah, I mean, Rengar ultimate at the ready. I think Balls has to be very careful. His flash is going to come up fairly soon, but he's definitely been targeted over and over, and it has been working thus far for C9.
A little bit of back and forth. Nice line in by Impact. Didn't do much to Balls with that shield on. And a few too many minions in the way, so he takes more damage than he really wanted to deliver. Gets some breathing room under the turret. Not too bad there. 69-52 as he already has the lead on Balls with a bit of pressure. And now High will get his blue buck to keep up with Jensen in the mid lane. 82-75, so pretty close there as well. This lane, though, really volatile. Like you said, Lemonation helping to keep Altec healthy. And we saw him blow his flash recently just as Lemonation kind of walked out of lane. Whoop. Nice Qs coming in from Smoothie.
Yeah. Altec's flash still down, but Ball's flash comes off cooldown at the time that the Rengar ultimate comes off cooldown, but Contract's actually sitting in. He wants to get the free jump out of the bush.
Should be all right. Bowl it in. Shock blast there. Trying to deliver, but they said, oh, okay, you can't get to it. I'll get the kill. Flash down for High as well.
So fortunate there. You know, Rengar, the inch it, he just wants to wait for you to inch over close to that side bush on the mid lane, and they had a pink ward in there, so really nice and fortunate kill there for Cloud9 on the mid lane as they actually punish High and take down another crucial flash. Mid wards here actually also filtering into the jungle after they kill mid. Contracts goes in, gets 2 wards down on the red quadrant. And again, this top half of the map continually under focus and under fire. It's starting to really take its toll as the gold lead is mostly top centric in C9's favor, whereas on the bottom side, FlyQuest in their Soraka lane actually getting a decent little lead here as far as CS is concerned. On the top side though, Moon actually has to be careful about checking into his own jungle. You see Contracts is waiting there in the brush on Rengar, and if Moon had actually gone up to his red quadrant, would have been the victim of another bush attack. Not going to be the case, though, as they go for the invade and actually filter towards the bottom.
High with the assistance of Moon gets a ward in the jungle. Ultimatum onto Balls.
Oh,
he gets kicked around left and right. Not much he can do but take it. And then he finally gets himself out. More pressure for Impact in the top lane to just keep controlling.
Yeah, just absolutely smashed up here. And like we were saying in Champion Select, if you pick this you know, Camille for the split pushing, you're going to want to invest resources in getting her to that power point. The Trinity Force will come in really quickly. He's got a CS lead plus those extra kills that came from, you know, getting too close to the bush and warding, and then also returned ganks by C9 up on the top side. And although Contracts didn't use another one of those Rengar ultimates, it is still available, and now Balls doesn't have flash, so he could just spend another Rengar ultimate up on the top side and continually try and punish this Rumble.
Very true. It's going to be tough. Balls getting back on that Rumble. One of his wheelhouse champions used to have that undefeated record on it, or very close to undefeated after a while, and it hasn't been something we've seen. Still can get those equalizers out. That is if he gets to his items, going for that Seeker's Arm Guard and Ninja Tabi first. They're going to set him behind for a bit of power the team would use.
Yeah, we expect all of FlyQuest to build significant amounts of armor early in this game. As we went over, they're pretty much full attack damage composition from Cloud9 here, as there are small amounts of true damage and magic damage on the team, but pretty easy to itemize your defenses. FlyQuest actually, Balls has definitely learned his lesson, and he's decided that this is FlyQuest territory. Let them do what they want inside their red quadrant jungle. And he backs off there. Does avoid the death for now, as he uses the ultimate just to clear the wave. And he's playing it as safe as he possibly can, while the rest of the team tries to make up for it on the other side, which is correct decision.
Clear it out. Seems like when a team can never really get under the skin, on that top side lane of FlyQuest, Balls is kind of just relegated to grabbing up a few farm here and there, sharing in lanes. You can already see 118 to 77. Things are going to become very hard for him if he just wants to share that camps.
So with FlyQuest moving everybody down there as the rotation came in, well, Contracts actually jumps for it.
Whoa. Minions are there, doesn't want to take too much. It's going to be the jump in from Impact. Contracts just gets out with his life. Is there a finalizing kill? Oh, it's over the shoulder. Pie to the face of Balls. And Jensen comes in.
Impact provides the barrel and calls Jensen over for his free shot, and they hand the kill over to the Jace there to really get him snowballing.
They almost did the same thing in mid if Contracts didn't have to ult in for that last high kill too. They set him up, bullet him, and said shock blast him.
And Balls was playing so safe before. You know, he's retreating super far into the jungle.
He's been doing
it
his
just
best.
went up to use his ultimate to wave clear, but gets snagged there by Contracts, and he got baited in a little bit, thinking he could finish off Contracts because he was taking tower shots, but Impact and Jensen remind Balls that this is C9 territory up on that top half.
It's kind of crazy to think about. That was probably 12:30 in. We're a few minutes past now, but you should be okay between tier 2 turrets at this time in the game, walking back and forth.
Nah, my friend. If you commit all of your team members to the bottom side,
yeah, true.
You don't get to see us anymore. And it is sad times for Balls. He's now 2 levels down. Yeah. And the Trinity Force that we've been hyping up for Impact has come in. So he is ready to take off. And Cloud9, we'll see if they can snowball this lead.
They know Balls is in that brush. They just ping down to the bottom right side. Impact is just kind of waiting for him to peek if he does. Hiding just to farm right now is what he is left to do. 15 minutes in, 4-1 here. A little bit of action coming in from high in the beginning when they went on to Jensen, but we've seen Jensen take a lot of pressure as a mid laner before and still come out on top. And the team's trying to put these kills on a silver platter for him now.
Yeah, looks like we have a convergence of Cloud9 around mid lane, but FlyQuest have a lot of vision in the area, so they do have some defenses. They can back off, and here we go. Okay, no all in there quite yet on 2 Balls, but we do have Contracts heading down. So they saw Contracts head through the tri-bush, and Balls once again should be playing defensively while the rest of the team collaborates around mid lane.
Bit of a long-range wombo combo here, hoping to hit some spikes, an arrow, and then the shockwave. Nobody walks into range, and this little, holy,
that's value right there.
Wish comes out on that one, thinking there was also a follow-up from Sneaky.
Yeah, huge value on chunks onto Soraka, because then you can't heal up the rest of your team.
Yeah.
Does cost your own health, and they really took a lot of the power out of the hold here. Fly with the blue buff onto high, though, so he can do his best to avoid the poke damage while clearing out the minion waves in mid.
Wow. This is Cloud9 owning both sides of the jungle right now. I don't really know how much time they've spent on their own, more so on the side of FlyQuest. Definitely in the top side, and Impact controlling the bottom now.
Yeah, with all the focus and resources spent into getting Impact on this Camille, his lead, there's no one that can answer this split push from FlyQuest. And that means Cloud9 get to continually swap Impact over to the other side, grab the extra turret, and fuel their early game here with some more tower gold. Also, FlyQuest, while they are going to want to build, you know, a bit of armor early on, and you know, Ninja Tabbies and Seekers we're seeing come in, and nobody is a true tank on the team. Yeah. So there's not that extreme worry from Cloud9 that, you know, FlyQuest have something like a Maokai or a Poppy or a Nautilus that's you know, going pure tank and builds full armor, while the rest of the members will get some. It won't be the tremendous amounts. Here we go, though. Ping's already onto Altec as he decides to back off in time to get away from Impact, who, with all tools available, should be able to easily pick off any member of FlyQuest if they show themselves 1v1.
Smoothie getting himself in a scary spot right now. Seeing and making sure FlyQuest can't get an initiation. If they did, what almost would that look like if FlyQuest were to initiate, or do they just wait?
Yeah, they definitely don't want to at this point. FlyQuest are trying to wave clear. They do have Varus that can rotate over to mid lane, spam out the arrows, and try and keep the minions off. Right now, FlyQuest are really looking for one of those counter initiation plays where once C9 jump in with Contracts or Impact, who also are fairly squishy at this stage of the game, then you lay down the Rumble ultimate. And it's a lot easier to hit really good Rumble ultimates and Varus ultimates as counter initiation tools. Rather than trying to start it out. Although it still is an option, the Flash Varus ultimate has been showcased in the LCS already. As of right now, though, yeah, they're still waiting for the counter initiation, so that means the rest of the map is Cloud9's territory. Take up another Cloud Drake for themselves.
Gotta go fast. So Cloud for Cloud as they trade back and forth. Only have one more Cloud if it does spawn. Whose will it be? And the next one's a Mountain anyways. 1 minute for Baron coming up onto the map. A lot of pressure from Fly here towards the mid lane right now as they're trying to just pull members in. Give balls a little bit of safety towards the top side and cause pressure in mid.
Yep, and there's tons of vision for Cloud9 right now. Because they've had control of the map for so long, because they have the strong split push, they've got both sides of the jungle warded up. But FlyQuest have kept everyone around mid lane for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Defending the siege,
a lot of prep.
And they finally are actually able to go offensive because Cloud9 spread out there. And C9 actually didn't get, much for their troubles in spreading out. Just got some recalls for some base timings into purchase. If they can actually force a fight on these purchases, then it might be worth it.
Oh, they want him. Oh, it flashes out of the shockwave. That could easily be a 2v1 for him for the moment. Jensen actually taking a lot of damage from the shockwave dissonance on the backside. He did not miss it.
Oh, they forced it all right, but it was into a waiting FlyQuest. As we said, they're looking for this counter initiation, and the flashes expended there. FlyQuest come out ahead. Contracts and Jensen not able to burst the target first. Impact will be able to answer at least one.
Guys, I just got to farm this canyon. Give me the cannon.
Yeah.
So, still Fly surprising me with the damage they were able to do there, fighting back, like you said, with the re-engage. The counter is what worked.
And, there is a Soraka in the game, so the wish comes through, and he flashes over to save high. If it wasn't for Soraka, they would have actually been able to get a kill there for Cloud9, even though they both still would have died, so probably not worth, but at least they would have been able to get that single kill. Doesn't matter, though, because Impact ends up finishing the job. And once again, this is how C9 want to play the game. They want to play the game through Impact, his split push pressure.
Yep.
This Camille is a monster. And I actually think the Titanic is going to be the upgrade for this Tiamat as he comes in. It has really good synergy with the attack speed that comes on your Trinity Force, getting you a lot more value out of the on hits from that. And generally making you a little bit more tanky for if you do have to get into the middle of the fight.
You can see C9 trying to be a little more versatile with this, not just have Impact push the side and then use Jensen to siege a turret with the rest of the team in another lane. They have been inside Fly's jungle trying to assassinate with Jace and Rengar.
Balls?
C9 can get this here, looking to pinch Fly.
Balls is so far away. C9, go for it.
Teleporting in, he's just going to be above the team. The Equalizer could lay down mid, but he's being chased by Jensen. Everything's in defense here for FlyQuest. Forward goes Jensen, exhaust goes down, it looks like Fly pulls off.
That's a super weird call from FlyQuest for as far as macro calls go to me, because yeah, they made the call for balls to go back and catch that top lane wave that you see now crashing. And yeah, he does have TP, but you know that C9 have a Rengar, which is almost instant initiation, and you want to have time for a teleport to continue the channel time. Like, channel time is long enough for someone to die when everybody's packing this much damage in these team comps. So, relying on a reactive teleport and making the call for the rest of your four-man squad to push up that deep is very, very risky and a bit odd, and they do pay for it in one kill. So it's not the end of the world, but probably an unnecessary move, as they, not only died, but also lost their teleport.
And so many things on the plate now for FlyQuest to handle. Both lanes 23 minutes in, top and bottom being pushed up to the turret by Jensen and Impact. And the squad of Contract, Sneaky, and Smoothie running around in mid. Pretty free here to see if they can actually find a kill. Alltech has to stay back very far. Such control by C9 coming into this game.
Yep, early game. Going pretty well for them. A lot of pressure here as all of the vision you can see Cloud9's favor, and they are slowly whittling away. Mid turret outer is very low, as well as the top turret, taking a definite beating up there. FlyQuest, though, for FlyQuest fans, they can still, rally behind the thought of a counter initiation with a Rumble ultimate. That could very well win them a team fight still. The only problem is FlyQuest have a lot less territory to work with, a lot less fog of war, to try and get these positioning advantages for themselves.
There's wards in mid. You can see Jensen trying to set up for Fog of War Blast. That would be enough of an opening right now for C9 to get in. There's one. Alltech gets hit up, gets the heal from Lemon Nation. So it's not going to stick too long. It's very much in their favor. C9 just trying to set up on the side here. Allow Impact to create pressure top, and then figure out where balls is and initiate.
Yep. Game plan remains the same for Cloud9. But FlyQuest are going in with a whiff!
Ball delivery, sombrero on the moon. It's a nice hat, but I don't know if it's going to get him any kills. He almost goes down himself, and Impact now has top side.
Yeah, this is terrible for FlyQuest because Shockwave is their biggest threat. Without that, they can't, not only can they not answer split push, which they couldn't before, but they also can't even really handle the mid lane or the rest of the map at that point. I mean, we've been talking up the high and moon synergy and the high moon coordination and communication, all split long. Right there was an instance where there was a gap. It looked very clear like High was expecting Moon to go all in there and either flash or jump or both in to get him into Shockwave position, but the timing was not there for them. And after that big cooldown is used, plus Kha'Zix loses his teamfight potential with his ultimate being down, they have to back off. They give up top turret, the Drake already in Cloud9's pocket as well. So that was an opportunity that really cost them. And Cloud9 take their small win for free right after.
And they're able to push up everything much more now. It doesn't look like the wards will be cleared out anytime soon. Cloud9 is going to be able to work now from the inner turrets back and forth. And FlyQuest really has no answer from the get-go of this game. It just seemed like they had balls on the back foot, and then that caused Moon to have to do too much. They did find that first kill for High in the mid lane, but it seems like they weren't able to work off of anything there.
Yeah, I mean, they got a pretty good kill as far as the first blood's concerned, with Balls pushing up his lane and roaming down to coordinate. But right after that, when Cloud9 started focusing top lane and gank after gank on the Balls was successful, ever since then, Impact is a monster. Nobody can answer him. And you start losing side wave control. That means the rest of the map, Cloud9 started filling in with wards and started to choke out FlyQuest.
Yeah. Becomes difficult. Obviously, Fly knows what's happening. It's a split push. Impact's huge, but there's nothing you can do to stop it at this point. Try to get the ward clears. We saw what they did in mid, and that attempt took a very long time to still leave them wanting. It was the Shockwave that missed, and they actually lost somebody on the way out.
Yeah.
It's very tough for them to set anything up on that timer right now. So far, it's all in favor of Cloud9 as they take down one of the final second-tier turrets.
Yeah, super risky. I mean, Impact can even threaten dives 1v1 on anyone. And if they get even more vision to work with, then he can actually push all the way inside an inhibitor turret. Rest of C9 are doing their due diligence, clearing out all the vision leading up to Baron, preparing for the Baron baits while they play off of their classic split push pressure. You send your split push to the bottom side, furthest away from Baron, and the four-man squad baits around the red quadrant of the jungle.
Ooh. Difficult with Cloud9 here on the side. There are a few wards for Fly, which are keeping them safe from the shock blast right now, but a very interesting position to be in against the Jace. They also could get that minion wave to run top side.
Yeah. I mean, it's just such a difficult situation to be in.
Yeah.
If you're a team that has super unreliable initiation and you're behind against a split pushing team, because C9 are just going to get small advantage after small advantage over and over, by just applying their pressure, with the Fed Camille. And what you would want to do to stop that is try and force something, but the tools that FlyQuest have to force something are pretty limited. And as we've seen, if you miss your Shockwave, if you miss it with the Kha'Zix ultimate, then you got nothing left. Here they go for a flash Shockwave instead.
They hit Sneaky, they got him. It's about pulling the trigger. It only becomes harder when you show them that initiation the first time, so you got to do Snap Judgment the second time.
High says, I'll do it myself, but even with that kill, Cloud9 can't get anything. All the waves are in Cloud9, or FlyQuest can't get anything. All the waves are in Cloud9's favor due to the split push, so this is the big thing about playing against a team with full map control with the split push advantage. Even if you go for that super risky play, and you're able to hit the Shockwave and they take down the AD carry, wow, that's great. You got a little bit of gold, but you have no map control, so you can't get any meaningful objective afterwards. And that's why it's such a difficult situation for FlyQuest, and kind of lamenting the situation they're in right now.
Buying a little bit of breathing room, but you can see how much that is. That's just to clear those waves you were talking about. C9 already living in their jungle again, and FlyQuest forced to give up a lot of this vision. Shock Blasts not hurting as much, but he's still building up damage. Jensen has a few more slots in that inventory to start doing damage. The armor is starting to take effect for Fly here. Let's see if it continues to help. They can build enough before C9 closes down on him.
Yep, and C9, they return to the 1-3-1. Get both side waves pushing, return everyone to the Baron area, and they can have the exact same scenario. They just get to try it again. Even if somebody gets caught, like Sneaky got flash Shockwave, doesn't matter. They can just reset, then prep the waves, and try again. That's why
you gotta call it, they have like a few catches worth of being caught, if you will.
Yeah.
It won't affect them too much. There's a big timer on FlyQuest to set everything back up. And a sneaky two-man here coming in from Cloud9.
Yeah, the rest of the squad is heading over. The Baron takes a while still to burn through for the team, even with the Mountain Drake, 6,000 health. And FlyQuest would love if Cloud9 continued and gave them a chance at a 50-50 steal. They don't actually do that, and Impact, since he doesn't have teleport, walked off, and they let up on some of the pressure.
I wonder, C9 as well, like you said, kind of pulling away from that split. FlyQuest recognizing that High can get very, very intricate in these calls around the Baron, and we just saw a Sneaky go down the moment C9 stopped their split push, so FlyQuest may be finding another in. It looks like they go back to the split, though, on the side of C9 to avoid those fights.
Yeah, C9 can clean up this Drake really easily, as it's not threatening at all, so you can just send one person even if they wanted to with the split push pressure. Right now, Jensen's not showing though, and there goes Impact!
Locks in Moon. Impact in a 5v1 right now. He'll be coming back up. Contracts is there. They got to be careful of the equalizer. It's still burning down. Two in the Shockwave. Moon goes in. He's able to clear one out. Two of these gets just far enough away. The reset in, the reset out. And Moon gets himself some great kills. The team's going to follow ball here. Couldn't tell Jensen. They were waiting. It was the split push plays, but can Cloud9 collapse from the lanes to get the kills? Jensen, Eagle Eye onto Lemonation on the back line. Sneaky with very low mana, still firing in the Mystic shots. And it looks like they're going to take a breather on this one, 2 for 2.
Yeah, definitely. You guys need to calm down a little bit there. There were some weird choices in that little skirmish. Cloud9, they could have just returned to the pressure they have, but Impact decides it is time to fight. I'm getting bored. Let's force this one inside the jungle. He jumps in 1v5. They get a Rumble ultimate in the jungle corridor, which is perfect.
Nice dodge.
And forces them into the Shockwave as well. So FlyQuest, they're super happy about the way that one went. And then they're able to pick up this extra kill. But now, even after they have the man advantage, Altec, he flashes past Sneaky to try and get through the team. I think he wanted to get a shield from High there or something. And, after Sneaky had jumped on him with the Arcane Shift, he felt like flashing backwards would leave the rest of his team without enough pressure to win the team fight. But he ended up flashing forward, and then Impact comes over, so he goes down. And it's a bit messy there. But in the end, there is a reset for Cloud9, and they grab the trade.
8-6 coming out of that. Still a 5,000 gold lead here for C9, but FlyQuest finding fight openings. Whether that result is a win for them, they are able to actually get themselves into range And if they can, of this poke team, they may be able to get the damage they need. Still forced to back off for now. Looks like things are going to be around Baron as Impact focuses bot side.
Yeah, and he's got at least an auto attack here, so this is going to be some big chunks out of the turret. Gets about 55% of the health there. And that's all it takes. A couple seconds, 50% of a turret health gone. Baron is still controlled with a bunch of pink wards for C9, so this is what I was expecting. You know, before that fight in the blue quadrant of the jungle broke out, it's more controlled Cloud9 where they keep applying that pressure and, you know, keep forcing FlyQuest into something.
Shockwave ball. All right. I was waiting for it. I heard the sound. There was no distance though. Contracts as well. Just throwing off his ultimate, and then he will back out. No engage on any of his targets. Impact seeing if he can get something cheeky on the balls over here, but he forces his way out, and Impact says him going back to the turret, and he's probably going to get it this time, even with a fight.
Yeah, Impact is definitely the point of power, because the 4-man squad here of FlyQuest is doing a good job. They're continually poking at C9 to keep vision. Ooh, might cost them a little bit more than vision.
Ooh, no. Ulti. Wow. Double shockwave back, sneaky low. He almost went down. Summoner heal into redemption on both sides. Support's trying to do what they can to offer a bit of help, along with the shields and heals.
And that 4-man squad, they're playing such a dangerous game. FlyQuest, they're trying to clear the minions, but also poke at C9 so that C9 don't go bait over in the pocket ward by Baron and force them into these face checking situations. But with that poke damage, FlyQuest get run off, and we're back to Baron.
Varus is going to be there in time. Alltech will be able to hit some shots. Very low for Sneaky. And they, again, these Baron calls are to say, oh, we may have messed that up. Let's do Baron a little bit. They'll have to come up here. We'll have time to reset. Impact's doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, and Impact is still going to be able to apply his pressure.
Yep.
However, the rest of C9, they either need Contracts to get a bit more tanky so he can actually tank the Baron and then pull off of it and go with the Rengar ultimate to try and catch the Soraka or Varus to actually punish FlyQuest for continually checking this Baron. Because right now, FlyQuest are doing a very good job. You know, they have Soraka heals, which have saved multiple people's lives here, you know, in their keeping vision on this Baron and you know, keeping C9 in check. Plus, they have this Orianna threat as well as the Varus spam of arrows around Baron to try and get out some damage, try and dissuade C9 from committing to the Baron with all the long-range damage C9 can funnel through their jungle corridor. And it actually speaks very highly of them that C9 have been, or FlyQuest have been able to retake vision control of their red quadrant of the jungle. That will help them quite a lot in extending the scan and keeping up their farm.
Basically been full court press by Cloud9 the whole time, up to the base already. You can see damage on the top side turret from the mini-map. It's been hit up a little bit, so Cloud9 is finally forced back, as you say. And this has been high. The rest of the team getting some shockwaves to work and starting fights in their favor like this.
This is so tense, though. Because FlyQuest, you can tell they're playing with fire. Cloud9 have the advantages, they just haven't been able to bring them to bear. You know, the Soraka heals have been sustaining them, but for how long? When will C9 actually be able to pull off one of these picks? As of right now, you can tell that FlyQuest are feeling the pressure. Moon goes in!
Oh, Moon gets hit, Redemption comes down. That's going to be a very nice heal. Elimination put it just on the outside. Equinox to lock somebody down. They lock out Impact, actually, as he comes in. True shot barrage through the team. High gets hit with the bola. Can he stay alive? Needs to deliver the shockwave for the team. Equalizer goes down. Boss on the forefront, overheating. So he's getting slammed through the minions. Can't do too much as he continues to speed up. Contracts is obliterated in that fight. It is a low elimination, but Fly stays for the fight.
You can tell, Balls even was anticipating that a couple of seconds from now, they were going to get one of these game-breaking fights. He bought the blue potion for the extra damage here, and FlyQuest, again, they're able to get a kill, but the side waves are still pushing, and Impact is actually going to push mid lane as well. Like, he's so strong, he's still controlling all the minions, even after losing the fight.
Moon in. The waves may be at the best they have been for Fly here, just off of the base, able to be pushed if they win this fight. And it does not look like Cloud9 is going to let any of their members go down past contracts here. Flying out towards the side of Baron, may be able to do some vision work.
And they are trying to take this opening to actually change the state of the game.
Impact.
Baron getting burned.
Impact mid, he's starting to come back. It's only half HP. Smoothie's there, looking for contracts. He's over at blue buff, too far away to the skies. Jensen, if he goes in, it's going to be a hit for the steal. Contracts just on the edge. Baron goes to Jensen and Cloud9, and they start to wipe down Fly.
It's one of those situations. FlyQuest felt like they were just running out of options, and they wanted to take a small window here, but it wasn't enough. Cloud9 can collapse. There were no CDs left for FlyQuest inside the Baron. C9 had all respawned, and that is going to be the game.
38 minutes in. What a back and forth after C9 knew they weren't just going to find their way into the base with the split push. FlyQuest holding them off, and one final fight at the Baron. Fly finally broke and took the chance. Cloud9 take the victory. Game 1 to Cloud9 over FlyQuest.
Split push wears on you, man. As the players like to say, that can be damaging to your mental. Split push for, you know, a consistent 15, 20 minutes really wears on your nerves. Being in that high state of awareness for so long, and knowing that you have to keep on playing with fire, you have to keep on making these, you know, risky plays. It's just, it looked like they got fed up with it. And they're like, you know what? We're not returning to this. We're going to change this game now, for better or worse. And they forced this Baron where they didn't have cooldowns left, and Cloud9 members had started to revive already, and so they get trapped inside. You know, they would have had to burn that down way quicker.
You try to go for best chance scenario. You say, hey, it's not a 50-50 smite fight, but still you have Jace coming in there. It's the team that's going to poke you down as they approach Baron, so it became even harder. FlyQuest did not stop trying there. They came up short on a few of those ultimates and a few of those engages, but they were trying to get in each time. A lot of times we'll see a team get split like that and just kind of relegate themselves to farming everything that's coming in and not trying.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have like a super reliable point and click start off. So we saw them get creative, right? Kazac's going in invisible, trying to deliver that way. That didn't work. I'll just flash and do it myself. Definitely an exciting game opener, though. We have a best of series, so more to come.
I cannot wait. We've got our analyst on standby to break that one down with a Cloud9 win.
Thank you very much, Riv. Holding up well so far. Your second series of the day, still crushing it. Thanks very much, buddy. Let's talk about this Cloud9. Pretty convincingly. I mean, there were some moments, but C9 looked good pretty much the whole way through.
Right, and I mean, we were talking about how we wanted to see maybe a little bit more standard of a draft out of FlyQuest this time around. They did give it to us, and it looked okay, but the problem, of course, was the fact that actually contracts just popped off super hard in the early game. And so despite the fact that you have this kind of one of those difficult team comps to play for FlyQuest where they don't really have a front line, it's a lot of damage.
Zero tanks and Oriana Ball to make a frontliner beefy. It's like, like when you're playing Soraka, you want to have people that you can heal more than once. Like, I understand Soraka's good against Jace poke, right? So like, okay, I can undo some of the damage done, but like, no one takes 2 Sorakas before they die anyway.
Right, I mean, that's one of the things, the effective HP that comes in from having resistances amplifies the heal. So not having that is a little unfortunate. They did still have good like team comp in terms of the CC. You have the Varus, Ori, Rumble. Those all combo together extremely well. And then you have a resetting Kha'Zix throughout the fight. That can lead to a really good team fight, but they just never quite got one before they were in a pretty big hole.
Yeah, and a lot of that was talking about contracts on Rengar, making big plays as we get rid of our team comp crafted. We've got him just kind of smashing the top lane open.
Yeah, I mean, there was a great play by FlyQuest to start the game where they made a 3-man roam onto Jensen, but then immediately after contract starts punishing, gets a really nice gank, 3-6, which can be a little hard to do on Rengar before he starts making the repeat gank. All right, now Impact's fed, got the top side snowballing. Let's punish that mid laner. Gets on the high here with another nice gank, sets Jensen up. They get another kill, and just those 3 kills were pretty huge in terms of getting control of the game. The bot lane wasn't going great. They weren't losing pressure, though they were down a little bit CS, but this really did control the rest of the map that allowed C9 to get a big lead.
Right, C9 was able to use their efficient, strong, proactive champions who have gold leads to actually break the game open. And at least we talk about Impact, who was the beneficiary of these early contract ganks, and he just kept getting farther and farther and farther and farther and farther ahead of his opponent. I mean, Balls is on a team fighter, so okay, sure, he doesn't want to split push the whole time, but Impact knocked down turrets. He would just continue to get himself farther and farther ahead, and he just kind of kept getting more advantage as the game went on.
Right, I mean, that's one of the things that when you pick the Camille, once you get to the head, it's going to keep growing. This is not like a champion where you get to the lead and it's like, okay, great, now we're tanky and this tank is going to go tank. Like, Camille will take over the game. She'll become a huge threat throughout the split pushing and team fighting, being able to basically assassinate carries. And, you know, there were some mistakes. I think once or twice Impact went a little too deep. There was that one time that allowed FlyQuest to get like a small 3-for-3. Well.
Yeah, and when he did collapse in, generally speaking, the team fights were pretty good. And so as it kept wearing on them, the cast talked about it breaking your mental at a certain point. The split pushing, yeah, this is Impact specifically, by the way. We got the graph up here. Impact over ball is just continually farther and farther ahead, ends the game, what, like 4,500 up at the end of this all. Just individually, by the way. It's not even team-based. But it got to the point where this couldn't be handled anymore. He was going to take the base down. He's got a Trinity Force. He's got that max Q. You will lose your base. So they have to go for a Baron. And that's basically our final replay, is when they go for the YOLO Baron. They got one pick. The jungler was dead, but it doesn't die fast enough.
Right. I mean, this is one of the problems that you sometimes see out of FlyQuest, is that they are a very aggressive shot calling team. They will force this. It did take them a little while to actually get this thing started back up, and they were really low on resources by the time they got around to it. Low mana on a number of targets. You see Altec. High actually splits away and drops his damage off, and I feel like it's a little surprising to see High, the shot caller, the all-in guy, probably a big part of making that decision, be the one who bails out on it. And you'd want to save some members so that someone has the Baron buff to use later. Right. And he was low on mana, so maybe he can't do that much. But you see what happens because they couldn't get the Baron down in time. Not only did they all die, but it gives it over to C9.
Yeah, there were a lot of mechanical mistakes there as well. You had Lemonation, who got hit by Shock Blast, who doesn't have the health pool to heal quite as much. And when they were kiting away and trying to finish the Baron off, Contracts actually walked into range of the rooted Jace. Like, the guy has 500 auto attack range, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go down to the bottom right side of the pit. Oh no, I got auto 3 times the Burrow mana. I died before we killed Baron. Wow, who would have thought that would happen if I gave Jensen free hits on me? So some mistakes definitely happened there. Sorry, Moon, not Contracts.
Yeah.
Moon, the FlyQuest jungler, of course. But we go full circle, and we talk about Impact being player of the game. It was close, of course. We could have talked about Contracts with this one as well, but he was the one who was breaking the game open with the split push, with the Camille. He was given the lead, and then really he worked it open himself.
And I think that's the big thing when you talk about Cloud9, is that they tend to get early game leads. It's not like just the early game. The first couple ganks is fine. It's once they need to start cracking objectives with it that they tend to struggle a little bit. And the fact that, you know, sure, he got the help from Contracts, getting ahead on the Camille, but once he was ahead, they could use that pressure consistently to keep taking objectives. And this could be something that, moving forward for C9, is great for them, because if Impact's on a carry champion and he gets ahead, they can keep using him to take mid-game objectives where they tend to stall out a little bit.
And I like that we're seeing more of this over time. Like, of course, we know Maokai got nerfs, so there's really only 3 popular tanks right now, which is Nautilus, Poppy, and Shen. So maybe just the champion pool shrinks and you're just playing favorite champions anyway. But we'd seen the Kled and the Gangplank out from Ziggs yesterday. Like, we're seeing more Renekton today. You're seeing more Camille being left out to be played. And I like seeing the fighter top laners, because they can use their 1v1 leads, and you can see if they're good players, they're still able to TP into the fights and do the same role that Maokai used to have, which was point-and-click W lockdown if you're playing a Renekton or something like this, where Camille dives in and actually, you know, finds a target for the team to kill off.
Right, I think a lot of the champions that you're seeing starting to come into meta have a lot more individual playmaking potential on the top side. Like you mentioned, the Kled. Yeah. You know, GP is huge. Yeah. If he ends up playing that, we know Impact can play GP. And just the Renekton itself, it's still a tanky frontliner, which C9 seems to crutch on a little bit. But assuming, you know, he starts playing more of that, it's just a great pick overall. It's been playing a ton this week so far. Yep,
absolutely. So it's been a very fun one. I like the new champions coming out, or at least the rehashed old ones. But it's a great win by Cloud9. So now we're going to take a quick break, and game 2 between FlyQuest and Cloud9 will be back up after that. So don't touch that browser. Watch North American LCS, and we'll be right back.
One, guys ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, go, 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 go! Contest so slow. Punch one. Tracks.
Whack. Jensen, exhausted straight up. Here comes Moon. He gets exhaust straight away.
I'm coming. I'm ulti for pressure. Okay, I'm still Oriana. Original flash. Ken? I'm flashing.
Too far away to the skies, Jensen. If he goes in, it's going to be a hit for the steal. Contract's just on the edge. Baron goes to Jensen and Cloud9, and they start to wipe down 5.